Alex and Megan approach Big Dog Builds to work out the perfect stages for their Ram 2500. They've owned the vehicle already, they know what the end goal looks like, and Big Dog Builds have stepped in to get the essentials done, ready for those future stages. And just remember, if you're after a stage build and you're located anywhere around the country, let's beef up stage one, get all the good bits done first, and then you can come back 6 months, 12 months, couple years down the track to finish off the future stages. Luckily, this couple here are nice and local to Big Dog Builds. They came into the workshop and we build design the perfect stage one. The goal is a capable vehicle that can tow the toys, the Caravan, the toy hauler, and then in the future, we're going for a bar combination that's quite strong for those remote touring out west, which will protect the Ram on those rural roads. We're also going for a tray setup in the rear end. So what we've done for the rear end setup, we'll get into a little bit later on. I'm Dean Bleasnart, the co-founder of Big Dog Build, with over 850 trucks now through the workshop. It's essentials builds for stage one that's really important. Get that ride performance dialed in and we can work out the different stages down the track. If you're unsure if the Ram 3500 package could be the best for you, download the new buyer's kit. It's in the description below. Send that one to family and friends. If they're interested in an American truck, this is the ultimate buyer's kit to get downloaded onto your computer and read up a bunch of information that's also self-learning. So the more you read, the more info gets put in, the more ask questions to the team. We're constantly updating that buyer's kit to make sure that the information stays up to date and you're not left on the lurch. Now let's get into what stage one looks like for this Ram 2500. The Ram 2500s delivered through Ram Trucks Australia in 2019 plus came with what is called the 5th-Gen Ram. That's that new front end setup. There is a new MY26 model out, which has changed up that little bit again. And the telltale sign from when a vehicle was 2023 or higher is when the color-coded bumpers came in and you lost your flares on the side of the guards itself. So these aftermarket flares is what's been installed for this wheel and tyre combination, and pretty much any aftermarket wheel and tyre combination will require some sort of flares to cover the tyre setup. The factory wheels and tyres have got quite a high positive offset. What that means is it sits fairly close to the suspension components, just inside the factory guard. It's already on its limit, so any wider tyre or any more negative offset wheel, which is further away from the vehicle, you're going to need to run flares to cover that setup. The chrome front end in the Ram 2500 5th-Gen setup definitely looks pretty cool. The chrome's coming back, but what Ram Trucks Australia have done for the new MY26 models, have brought in the Night Edition Laramie setup with the new sports hood. The granite crystal pearl definitely looks amazing throughout the Ram years, and that's exactly what we've also done to the Husky liner flares on the side. So those smooth flares color-coded to paint match into the vehicle itself definitely looks the part, and that's covering the wheel and tyre combination. We've gone for the ever so popular Method 305 NV HD. So these are a 2041 kilo rated wheel, and every single 8-lug wheel in this workshop is over that 1651 kilos, which is what you need to be for your axle load ratings. What's an 8-lug wheel, you might say? An 8-lug wheel is the number of lugs on the rim itself. So those ones there are for any of the HD trucks. So your 2500s, your 3500s and your Ram share exactly the same. The PCD for a Ram 3500 is 8 by 165.1. The PCD, which is where these bolts are located in the wheel itself or on the hub assembly, for a Chevy 2500 is 8 by 180. And then it's different again for the Ford F250 350, which are 8 by 170. That means that you can't run a Ram 2500 wheel onto an F truck, or you can't put it onto a Chevy either. So if you're touring and you're traveling around and someone might need help, and you're in an American truck, just remember that the three major brands have all got completely different PCDs on the wheels, and they can't be swapped to each vehicle. A good tyre combination is also very important. Nitto Ridge Grappler 35, 12.5, 18. These ones here have got a 128Q load rating, which is a massive 1800 kilos per tyre. For 1800 kilo per tyre load rating and over 2000 kilos per wheel, make this combination almost bulletproof. Haven't seen any issues at all with either of them. And the Method 305s in the matte black have got the zinc lip bolts, which is that iconic Method race wheel look from the US. Apex valves are installed into every single wheel and tyre combination unless the customer doesn't want it. And what that means is you can air down from that running pressure and wherever you're running it at 50, 60 PSI down to 15, 20 PSI ready to hit the beach in a matter of seconds. If you're not hitting the beach too often, only a couple times a year, I still say that those little bad boys there are well worth the money. They're not expensive at all. You want to run 35-inch tyres on a Ram 25 and 3500 setup. What is required? Well, fortunately, you don't actually have to do much other than a basic leveling kit, which is exactly what we've done here using the Carli suspension pin top leveling kit. I say a basic suspension kit, but this is one of the best kits in the world. We only use the top products here at Big Dog Builds, and the Carli pin top suspension kit hasn't let us down to date. There's some optional upgrades that you can do for this kit, but there's also the essentials that I always do for every single Ram that rolls out the workshop. And a few of those upgrades are chopping off the factory shock mounts, which are located at the bottom. Those ones there running the bigger bore shock absorber puts more pressure on that bottom mount, and the lower shock mounts can snap off the diff. So what we do is we chop those ones off, we weld on what's called a Dominator shock mount. We weld that onto the diff assembly, and that ain't going nowhere once that's welded on. So strengthening up that setup there means that the shockey's not going anywhere. The big 2.5 remote res Carli suspension shock tuned by King. So it's a King shock tuned by Carli, I should say. Stainless shafts in those ones there. Really, really good shock absorber. The only time we really do anything to them is every 12, 24 months or a service interval over a certain number of Ks. Everyone's different with how they want to get it serviced, but ripping those ones out every year, sending them into a shock tuning shop, something like Mike's Shock Shop, can tweak those ones, do a service, do an oil change, and make sure that everything still looks the part and is performing really well. When you do a shock service, you can also revalve the shocks. So once you start adding a little bit more weight to the vehicle, these ones here are tuned for a fairly lightweight vehicle or unladdered vehicle. And once you start adding a big heavy bull bar, a roof rack, a tray on the back with constant weight, when you can valve those shocks that little bit heavier, which means it'll handle that extra load that little bit better. Two other things that this vehicle has, it's actually got a 3.25-inch suspension kit. So that is up that little bit taller than a 2.5-inch leveling kit. The reason we've done that one is this customer is looking at doing quite a decent front bar in the future. With a big heavy bar on, it will sag down that tiny bit in the front end. The Carli suspension front coils are really, really well balanced. When you do add that little bit more weight, I tend to go up to that slightly taller kit, which will then settle down into place, and you've still got that good range of motion, both down travel and up travel. With the 3.25-inch suspension kit on the 5th-Gen Rams, one issue that we have seen a few times over the years is the front drive shaft binding at full wheel droop. So what we've done in this one here is we've installed the Driveline Plus front drive shaft, and that's going to eliminate any issues under there. And then we've also got a few extra bits and pieces. The standard kit comes with your radius arm drops. What that's going to do is drop those radius arms down, push the axle forward a little bit for the best wheel alignment. The standard kits all come with the front track bar or the front panhard rod, which is adjustable, and that means that we're keeping your wheels nice and centered. When you lift up a solid axle truck, it wants to kick the axle over to one side, and some of the cheap kits out there don't do anything about that panhard rod. What that means is the vehicle's going to not get a good wheel alignment, the rear's opposite to the front, and it's not going to drive very well, whether you're towing or whether you're just using it as a daily. A lot of customers that have installed other cheap suspension kits, that's the biggest complaint, that they don't drive the best. Coil rates is a big thing, not getting that axle in the right spot, and then not having that adjustable front panhard rod. Carli Suspension's one of the best kits in the world, and the company has definitely put in the most R&D, I think, out of anyone in the world. The torsion sway bar that Carli offer as well, which is installed in this one here, which we also do on pretty much every single build, is going to allow for a much better ride. The factory sway bar is very, very rigid. If you're going over wombat holes, out of a gutter or anything like that, it's very, very rigid. Doesn't want to twist at all. That torsion sway bar in the front end allows that front axle to move independently while then keeping it nice and balanced as well. Doing this build in stages, we've thought about the front bar combination that's going to come in stage 2 down the track. That suspension has got the 3.25-inch kit, which is then going to settle down a tiny bit over time. The rear end, it's a little bit different. You have got different rate coils that you can throw in the back end. We have stepped up to the R2 rate coil from Carly Suspension, which is their heavier option. But I've found that how we're using these trucks over here in Australia, that one there for constant weight in the back is where you want to be. If it's too heavy, we can easily swap back to a lighter rate coil, and we've got the airbag assist next to the coil, which is going to give the vehicle a good ride even while towing. A few features in the 3.25-inch pin top kit comes already standard with the rear sway bar end links, which is what we like to run on all 2500s. It's also got the rear track bar drop in there as well. So just like the front track bar, how it's got an adjustable track bar or panhard rod as we call them here in Australia, the rear one has got a track bar drop which pushes the axle over that little bit and keeps it nice and centered as well. So different rate coils to suit the different stages in the rear end. If this customer was going for a canopy setup, we've got a few different coil rates which can handle those additional loads, and that's the most important thing when you jump on the phone to us, to tell us exactly what the vehicle's had done. If you're planning a canopy in the future, all of those things make a big difference with what we actually choose for the build. Just like the front end, we've got the color-coded flares, which is covering the same wheel and tire combination, of course. We've tucked up the spare wheel underneath there, and we've gone for a simple set of Rock Blocks mud flaps, both front and rear. Obviously with the front end, 35s, if you're going any bigger tire, you're not going to have a spare wheel underneath is one thing. You're going to need to do some additional trimming, and the wider the offset of the wheel and tire, the more trimming you're going to need to do in that mud flap area. A simple stage 1 essentials build, you can't go wrong with a set of airbags in the rear, and we've got manual inflation airbags left and right. You can then tee in a Air IQ setup down the track, so if you're wanting to inflate, deflate those airbags from inside the cab, we can install that at a future stage. And then a Anderson plug combo if you're towing a big van, we always like to put in for stage 1 as well, and it's all about the ride performance. So again, a tray coming for this build in the future, a decent front bar on the front end. You're then going to have LED lights. You could go down the route of a roof rack with lights around that as well. And once you step up for a few additional outputs when it comes to lights is when we then install a Switch Pro unit. So Switch Pro unit to switch additional lights in the future. We could put some behind seat battery setup in this one here to run a fridge on the new tray or a fridge inside the tub. And you can really get down to business with those different stage builds. So a lot of people on phone calls talk about what they can spend in stage 1. They've budgeted for the truck. They didn't realize that they needed to spend more. A HD truck will put a decent trailer on the back and tow it a whole lot better than pretty much anything else on the road. Everything can be improved though, and you'll soon find out that the factory shock absorbers that come in these Rams are quite limited. When you're hitting out to those 80, 100k roads out west, you definitely notice that the vehicle's lacking a little bit. And so doing these improvements with the Essentials kit, getting the ride performance dialed in, really makes a massive, massive difference. Again, a few people ask about the Ram 2500s. Do I need to be in the NB1 category, or can I go up to NB2? You can order a Ram 2500 in the NB2 category, but it'll have to come specific through the dealer, and that sticker gets added at remanufacture down in Walkinshaw in Victoria. Most vehicles going to dealerships are coming in NB1 stickered for the 2500. That's because the dealerships are going to have a better chance at selling them to people with a car license. You do need an LR license if you're stepping up to the NB2, but what you're going to get is much better payload. So a vehicle with the Essentials build is only going to have around 700 kilos of payload to put in the rear end. Or people inside the vehicle, you've got ball weight, you've got gear in the tub, all to add to that consideration. So stepping up to an NB2 rated HD truck, in my opinion, is where you need to be. If this information still confuses you, download the buyer's kit in the description below. That's going to give you a full rundown on every single vehicle, all of the weights, all of the considerations, NB1, NB2, and then pick up the phone once you know which vehicle suits you, and the team here can get you dialed in for an Essentials stage 1 and plan out those future stages down the track. There's no point spending the money twice. Let's get the vehicle dialed in and thought about the end goal. And most of the time, what we can do for the start, you don't have to do many upgrades as you step up and add more features down the track. Throw a comment below if you like this video. I'm keen to hear your feedback, what you'd like to see in future videos here at Big Dog Builds. If you like this one, check these two out and those two below as well.